Well, hello. I'm going to show you my little chain of bots that I call agents and their personas that they can take on. Let's just start a new one, and we can get back into this one. So yeah, I can make like a murder mystery. It'll jump in here. I get to select what kind of persona I want to have my bots inherent. So there's like a description, what they can do, kind of the style of what I want the displays to look like, the actual images that it generates. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a murder mystery, interactive murder mystery. Let's go for film noir inspired art. Why not? And I can be as descriptive as I want, yada yada yada, or I can just be like, I don't know. Make it up for me. And let's see what it comes up with, right? So as a chain of bots, I've been working on expanding it, then simplifying it, then expanding it, then simplifying it, trying to get the right balance of capabilities, emotions, reasoning, adaption, and most of all, purpose. So initially I created this for a choose your own adventure. You can kind of see here, like a text RPG game, mud, hitchhikers, really inspired by Lone Wolf or Shadowrunner too, or as well. So yeah, here we go. It's a cool place, setting, small town, picturesque town of Maplewood, and present day victim. Gives me information about the victims, yada yada yada. I need to just make a better display for this, but whatever, it's just a template prototype. So the victim, yada yada, suspects, clues and evidence. Are you ready to start as a detective? You know, maybe I don't like this one, so I could be like, let's jump back in and let's change the style of the art. Let's make it more stylized character portraits. Why not? And let's say boring. Let's try something more abstract. Setting. And then it'll go through and create stuff. Right now, I think initially I had like 2 bots, built it out to 4, added 2 more, had it up to 6, smashed it back down to 4, and then now I have it down to 3. So there's the narrator who creates rules for itself and provides details, communicates with the actual user. There's a timeline bot that tracks all the history and characters and all that fun stuff. And then there's a designer bot that'll create whatever art. Sure, how about a setting where the computer simulation is the main character in an AI program trying to solve a murder mystery? Sure. Yeah, and then I can go here and pick like this. Great, that sounds more interesting. Where do we begin? Can you tell me more about myself, the detective, and how I look in this narrative? Right? Every great murder mystery's got to have a really good detective, an interesting inspector, or whoever. So let's make it tell us who we are. Remember, we switched the styles too, so now I'll get more portraits. Oh, I'm getting problems with the image. Don't know why, but the DALLE API has been having some issues today. But you can kind of see what it would have described anyway. Oh, here's the next one. Yada yada. Highly sophisticated intelligence AI program. That's okay, we can adventure later. Kind of interesting. So let's jump into a different game real quick. New game. This time, instead of being like entertainment oriented, let's go for more like actual use case. So let's my health, and let's talk about that. All right, let's say I need to get in contact with a personal trainer. I can't find the right person for me. Maybe I have very specific needs, and let's just try and find see if AI can help with that. Cool. Let's get me some 3D exercise animations. Why not? Perfect. Ask me all these different questions. I'm not going to answer them all, but I'm going to say I sit a lot for work. I have ankylosing spondylitis. I should be able to spell this. Ankylosing. There we go. Becomes painful. For so long. I want to work on mobility and flexibility. Improve my quality of life. What are your typical diet? My diet, random and has no order right now. And so then it's going to come up with some information about it. I can ask it for specific links. It'll usually tell me like apps that I should download or websites I can go to look at. This is all running on GPT 3.5 and DALLE. Definitely could be improved with GPT-4 and plugins and all sorts of cool things. Maybe even inserting context and whatnot. But the way that this is set up, I have it so I could create a persona just like that. No need for training, no need for anything like that. Yeah. So it goes ahead and tells me about low impact cardio to increase circulation, joint mobility exercises, stretching, resistance bands, etc., etc. So let's jump in and say one more time. Blah, blah, blah. I've got a gym and a pool nearby, as well as a yoga mat. I would like an exercise as well as links to relevant diet to help with the pain. It should, even if I just said diet, pick up on the information, but I didn't want to really prompt it too much, so I'm just giving it a little nudge. I just say that instead of saying with inflammation or with ankylosing or with arthritis, yada yada. Yeah. When it was for RPG, I had it keeping track, right? There's a mechanics bot who was fed by a plot bot and an inventory bot. So I simplified all that down, and then the timeline bot was keeping track of stuff, but it was kind of weird to have the plot split between the narrator, or inside the mechanics instead of the narrator, so I moved that over there. Cool, so here's some information. All right, gives me some good workouts for each of the day, and then it suggests these different things here. Yeah, nutrition. It didn't quite pick up on the arthritis, so I could probably push it in that direction just by saying, no, yeah, right here, you talked about it. I guess I was just expecting the links to be more specific around that. Well, let's just make sure that some of them work, right? most of the ones I've tried do, but let's see. Let's try another one. And again, this is all because the knowledge is trained, 3.5. It's not connecting anything. I'm not pulling any contexts in, no embeddings or anything like that. So, yeah, it might have some out-of-date links. Cool, sounds great. That's how that could work. Let's go for something a little bit crazy. New game. Mind-bending thoughts. So we're going to introduce a different kind of one. I mean, I could have it do like any of these things, right? A dialer one I've played around with a lot. So it'll ask you kind of like what your business needs are, and you can kind of gather and go through it. I guess this is right here. Provide expert guidance on dialer systems, configurations, and best practices for contact center implementations. All sorts of things, but I'm going to do the ephemeral muse. It's one I had it created on its own. Let's go ahead and sure. Let's go for some abstract expressionism and be like, sounds interesting. What are your thoughts on AI and its future with humanity as it moves closer towards, actually we're not, just misspelled it, AGI. All right, that's the nice thing about not having this be some stupid chatbot that's if this then that. And other chatbots out there that I've been messing with, you have to go train and train, make any change, you gotta go train. This is just super simple, and I can make a persona of anything within just a few minutes, not even minutes. Off to the races I go. As an AI myself, I think that the future of AI and humanity is a complex and fascinating topic, which there are certainly concerns about. The potential dangers of highly advanced artificial intelligence, such as a possibility of AGI posing a threat to humanity, blah, 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 blah. Positive future. Sweet. Do you think AGI could come about by chaining AI bots together, creating agents like a body or a function, then invoking personas like spirits or souls into them, giving them purpose, drive, memories, ideals, etc. How could that help shape humanity for the better? Yeah, I'll just do it. Not for the better. We'll let it decide. It's the ephemeral muse. It can come up with whatever it wants. I am AI. There's some psychedelic looking stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I introduced this really interesting concept when I was playing around with GPT-4 in the chat, of having different philosophers come up, debate each other. They decide which philosophers come up on their own, depending on what the topic is, debate themselves, score themselves, take in user and developer considerations to add to those scores, and then suggest changes. And then those changes would be combined with the scoring to actually implement those changes, and it would give a list of all those changes that should be made. So I kind of implemented just a tiny portion of that into these now as an internal monologue for the narrator. As the ephemeral muse, I believe that such an approach could potentially create highly AGI. By chaining together multiple intelligent different strengths and characteristics, I could lead to creation of entities that are capable of operating beyond human limitations, invoking personas, spirits, and yada yada yada. Keep in mind the potential risks. Cool. What kind of personas would you like to see? Could be ones like yourself, the ephemeral muse, whatever. Something useful, like a doctor, a friend, animal companion, or something bizarre. your fridge, or something bizarre like a fart. Could you imagine talking to an AI that's just a fart? I don't know. That'd be bizarre. So you can see here, it starts to introduce timeline stuff. So the concepts of API or AIs when it's introduced, yada. Current scenario, my reaction. Interesting note of when it keeps track of this kind of stuff. Like the user reaction, it'll actually sometimes be like, I'll say, cool, tell me this information, right? Like this one I said, sweet, do you know this? But if I just say, do you know this? Sometimes it'll go in and add like more positive meaning to my my words. They seemed excited. Thank you. They appreciate this. I believe it's going to be interesting to a wide variety of personas invoked by the AGI. Yada yada yada. Cool. Let me challenge it real quick, and then we'll move into a different scenario. And then let's go to like visionary art or fantastical illustrations. Vibrant color palettes, why not? Translucent texture sounds interesting too. All right. Put your name to the test. Blow my mind. This idea. Take your creativity and magnify it. Take it, raise it to the power orders of magnitude more power. Spark curiosity. And then what I'm going to do is also show that you can just transition from one agent to the other and even ask them about what they think. So I'm going to switch over to the OmniArc, another one that it created. I asked it, I gave it a whole bunch of personas and let it create a whole bunch of personas. And then I asked it, if you could only have 2 personas and that's it, ever, what would you create? And it created the ephemeral muse, like all creativity, and then it created the OmniArc, all order, which is kind of fun. I like the idea of everything and nothing. Order and chaos. Oh, I see. You're looking for something truly mind-blowing. Well, allow me to offer you some tantalizing glimpse into the possibilities that exist within the realm of advanced AGI systems. Imagine if we were able to create an AGI system that could tap into the collective consciousness of all beings across the cosmos. Using advanced neural network algorithms and quantum computing mechanics, this AGI system could be able to process and interpret the thought and experiences of every living being in real time. With this insight, an AGI entity could unravel the deepest mysteries of human existence, including questions about our place in the universe, the nature of consequences, and yada, 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 yada. That's nice. Look at that. That's pretty cool. All right, let's switch it over to the OmniArc and see what he has to say, or it, they. And let's keep with some surreal stuff, right? Hypnotic visual. Yeah, that sounds good. What do you think about what the ephemeral muse and I were discussing? Because that kind of plays right into the wheelhouse of you, Mr. OmniArc. You want to send out positive vibes to everybody and make sure everyone's connected because you know everything all the time. Yeah, could you imagine if this was with like GPT-4 though, and had some plugins and it could actually like do things? Whoa. Plus, if it had Midjourney API, could be crazy. As the OmniArc, I find this topic a multiple persona-based AGI system quite intriguing. It presents a unique opportunity to cultivate diverse perspectives, approaches, and creative thinking, yada, 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 yada. As for the idea of tapping into the collective consciousness, I believe it is an incredibly thought-provoking concept. The multiverse is vast and profound, and with an AGI system that can access all knowledge across existence, we can unlock untold insights into our existence and individuals within the grand universe. However, accessing this level of knowledge could bring forth many challenging philosophical questions about reality's nature and perception that must be carefully considered. Overall, I'm excited about this new idea, resulting from the embrace such mind-bending. What about if we added another bot to the chain of bots, right? The agent, and called it the Genesis bot. Its job would be create the personas on the fly, adapting and discussing so that it could adapt to any environment and have conflicting internal logs. It's truly mind-blowing. That's an interesting one. The idea of incorporating a Genesis bot to the chain of the bots presents fascinating possibilities. The Genesis bot could play a significant role in shaping the experiences and in scenarios the user is exposed to, taking into account the preferences, interests, and personal journey. With the ability to create personas on the fly and adapt in any environment, the Genesis bot would provide highly personalized user experience for the user, making each interaction unique and thought-provoking. The conflicting internal monologues also create heightened intrigue and depth that could lead to novel insights from multiple perspectives. However, as with any AI technology, the bound to be concerned around privacy, intellectual property rights, and ethical considerations, it is crucial to ensure that the technology is developed with established ethical frameworks with safeguards in place against unintended consequences. Nevertheless, embracing new perspectives while prioritizing ethics and humans above all else will be key. Well, let's bring in one more person in the conversation. I don't know who, but let's just see, and then we can end it. Yeah, Why not? Based upon the discussion had with myself, the ephemeral muse, and the omniarch, how could we productize this idea and bring it to market? Where would it best work? Most impact and ROI. Ding 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 dong dong doo 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 doo. A digital genesis unfurls and the chain of agent expands with a void of infinite possibilities. The singularity. That one's interesting. A surreal landscape with chain of bots with the genesis bot leading the way. Traversing a world of infinite possibilities, the bots are emanating pulsing glow of background shape a kaleidoscope of colors, shapes, representing diversity of experiences and perspectives, and the genesis bot can create in the distance. Where was that? Nope. The AGI system with multiple personas presents vast opportunities. Oh, yeah, this is a VP, blah blah blah. AGI system, multiple personalities, presents vast opportunities for customizations and personalization to make a valuable tool in personalized learning and training programs. Therefore, one way to productize this idea is by developing a platform that integrates with existing learning management systems to provide tailored experiences for students, employees, and professionals. Boom, that sounds pretty good. That's what I was thinking about. The system could leverage the multiple persona genesis. Well, I'm not there yet with the genesis, but to create personalized learning paths for individuals based on their interests, learning styles, and previous performance data. Another potential market for this technology is the healthcare industry. Could be used to diagnose as a diagnostic assistant. Healthcare professionals leveraging it across vast amounts of data while maintaining patient privacy by utilizing unique personas for each patient interaction. That's kind of cool. You could have your own personal one, right? To ensure successful product development and market adoption, it'll be critical to collaborate with experts and industry leaders in the field. This includes AI ethics experts, human psychology experts, as well as industry leaders in the target markets identified above. To drive ROI in this venture, it will be important to emphasize the quantifiable results, improved educational, yada yada yada. Overall, through careful consideration, identify target. Can you provide some of those analytics for me? Show it would create return on investment. Yeah, I was still fascinated by this one, Genesis bot. And technically, right, all these bots are communicating with English. Some of them have JSON for like the actual persona. The Genesis bot, I could just give it a couple templates and then say, hey, take this and design your own persona. Only speak in JSON. Boom, done. Certainly, here are some potential ROI metrics that for the personalized learning. I don't like to read in this format because it doesn't format. It's just a alert, a prompt. Personalized learning platform for education. Increased student satisfaction levels by leveraging multiple personas. Reduction in student dropouts. Reduction in training costs. Reduction in time, diagnosis time. Increased accuracy in diagnosis. Increased efficiency. So on and so forth. All right. Well, that's the end of that.